Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. So in this video we are going to be reviewing Memento, which is Christopher Nolan's breakthrough movie from over 20 years ago, but actually it still stands up today as it's just so awesome with its incredibly innovative storytelling style and that jaw-dropping ending. It really does break the standard movie formula and just kind of rips up the rule book and really does do its own thing and does it so brilliantly, as it really does demand your attention from start to finish. And I'm going to be breaking down everything to do with Memento in this movie review. Now, in terms of the plot of this movie, it is centered around a character called Lennon who has a condition called anterogate amnesia, which means he can't form new memories and has short-term memory loss after every 15 minutes, and so navigates his way through life by taking Polaroid pictures and making notes on them, whilst also making tattoos on his body with certain clues to do with a mystery, which I will go through in a second. Now, the storyline structure in this movie is split in two. Now go with me here because it is a little bit confusing. So the first storyline structure is in present day, which is in colour, but you kind of are going backwards through time even though it's in the present day. We then have the past, which from the past point of view is going through normally and is in black and white. Now let's go through them one by one. Now in present day, everything is in colour, and the reason that you're going backwards in time is that the viewer is not supposed to know what just happened, so that you can really relate and understand what it's like to be the character of Lennon. Now the mission of the Lennon character in present day is to find the man, the second killer of his wife, as his wife was killed loads and loads of years ago. The first person was found, but there is always a second person that Lennon believes killed his wife, and he is on a mission to find this person. And in the past, you're actually going normally through time, and in the past everything is set in black and white. And back in the past, Lennon is working in the insurance sector and has a customer who also has anterogate amnesia, and you kind of see all of the interactions between Lennon and this character who is called Sammy Jenkins, who Lennon has a tattoo of on his hand as well. Now the movie is really interesting how they just intersect between these two timelines, and it really does immerse you into the world of the Lennon character, and is just so incredibly gripping, and like I said before, just really does demand all of your attention from start to finish. Now from a cast and characters point of view, it's really interesting, as it is a very small cast in this world actually, but it works really well in terms of the whole world building that they're doing in this movie, as they've kept it small and you can really be with all of these characters. They're kind of putting all of the clues around this big mystery, but let's go through all of them one by one. So first up we have Pearce, who just does a brilliant job bringing the Lennon character to life. He's so captivating in his performance, and like I said before, you're really with the character, especially in how they've modelled and structured this movie. You're really with this character and you really feel and empathise and sympathise with everything that he's going through. He's really likeable and you're really rooting for him as he's kind of looking for justice and kind of putting all of the clues and mystery for everything together. Next up we have Carrie-Anne Moss, who plays a character called Natalie, who is a friend of Lennon's and is helping him in his investigation. We then have Joe Pantoliano, who plays a character called Teddy, who Lennon from the past doesn't actually trust, and throughout the movie you work out why Lennon from the past doesn't trust this character. We then have Mr. and Mrs. Sammy Jenkins, and then you really find out through these characters how the disease of anterogate amnesia can really affect loved ones, and you also find out what really happened to these characters. So as you can see, the cast and characters of this movie are actually pretty small, but are incredibly captivating with all of their performances in this movie. So from a visuals point of view, it's really interesting here. It's definitely got its own identity, and it does kind of feel like a bit of a neo-noir, old dark Hollywood vibe that really does immerse you into this world, which is really great. Now it is a bit of a stretch to follow the very complex structure that they've created with this movie, but that being said, the visuals really do help it have a bit of an identity in terms of the past storyline and the present storyline to make it a lot easier to follow. So from a visuals point of view, it really does help with this movie. Now, in terms of comparisons, I absolutely love Memento. I thought it was really, really clever. I loved all of the twists and turns, and I love how it kind of forces you to pay attention to every single scene and to kind of follow all of the detail, as it is all really, really important. In terms of actual comparisons between Christopher Nolan's body of work, I'd say it's a lot better than the recently released Tenet. Maybe not as good as Inception or Interstellar, but you know, like I said before, it was made 20 years ago. It definitely still does hold the test of time, and I definitely feel like it puts psychological thriller movies on the map. So in the end, there are just so many revelations that just happen one after the other that are just so jaw-dropping, and like I said before, just completely blow your mind and really demands a second viewing. So let's go through them one by one. So the first one is where you find out that the big revelation is that John G is actually dead. Leonard killed him over a year ago and got his revenge, but he still looks for a JG to kind of give his life purpose. Next up, we have the revelation that Teddy is actually a bit of a crooked cop and originally helped the Leonard character to find John G and to kill him, but he still tries to give the Leonard character's life a bit of meaning and still goes on him in missions to kind of find a JG, and also along the way kind of tricks him to kill a JG where Leonard can actually make some money along the way. The next revelation reveals that the character of Natalie actually doesn't like Leonard and isn't his friend, and is just kind of using him as she wants to punish him for killing her boyfriend. Next, we have the biggest revelation of all, which is that the Sammy Jenkins character did not exist at all, and actually it is the Leonard character that was in the Sammy Jenkins thought, and it was actually the Leonard character the whole time, and so it was Leonard in the hospital, and it was the Leonard character that also accidentally killed his wife through the overdose, but he uses the tattoo of Sammy Jenkins in his head to kind of suppress all of his guilt and all of the past trauma and all of the past memories, and he uses the tattoo to condition his mind to form a fabricated memory which he will constantly replay to himself, so that this false identity is a reality for Leonard in the present, which is just absolutely mind-blowing. And so the ending of this movie is just incredibly satisfying. All of the twists and turns are just absolutely brilliant, and like I said, all of the revelations at the end are just absolutely mind-blowing. So overall, I absolutely loved Memento. I thought it was such a clever movie. It really does stay with you throughout, and it really does demand a second viewing. And like I said before, it really does demand all of your close attention. All of the twists and turns were absolutely brilliant. All of the character performances were absolutely brilliant. And most of all, it just immerses you into this world and just captures your attention and just is just so gripping from start to finish. So it's so good, and really did, like I said before as well, put the psychological thriller genre on the map, and really did start it on an absolute high all of those years ago. And so for all of those reasons, I have to give this movie a solid 7 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you think, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.